Hear it, love it, share it.
Tell your friends about The Voice. We're loving North Devon.
Just about to have. I'm joined in the studio by Denise Anstey. Good morning to you, Denise.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. So, Denise, your story is pretty remarkable. Tell everybody what it is you do.
So, I started a company called Heartfelt products, and basically it started way back. In 1998, I had a car accident, and very simple accident, but rendered me disabled for 12 years. And for the first 6 years, for the greater part of that, I was mostly confined to bed. So it was quite hard for me to overcome and get my mobility back. During that time, I basically wouldn't admit I had a disability. I kept saying I had an inability because I just wouldn't accept how poorly I was. And I knew that eventually, once I managed to regain my movement in my arm, on my upper right side, I lost 90% movement, which I managed to regain. I knew I was going to be compromised on the work front. So for me, it was really important to work. And I wanted to really help people with products, from who'd gone through disability. So I started Heartfelt Products, and I invented a walking stick to help other people, which won me the British Female Inventor of the Year award.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. And it was wonderful because I was actually living that dream. I was bringing products to market, which really would fundamentally help people in similar situations. And for me, that was fantastic because I'd lived that and I knew how hard it was.
Yeah, definitely. And your products, they are genuinely made with love as well, aren't they? So that's what makes them so special, I think. One of the things that you do make is the comfort quilt.
Yes. So after a while, the walking stick was no longer made, and it went into redesign. And I actually relaunched the company in January this year.
Okay.
And this was mainly due to my aunt, bless her. Now, my aunt was like a second mum to me, and she lived in Norfolk, which was 250 miles away. And she was really poorly. She had heart disease, and I used to ring her 3 times a day. And it was so sad because she missed us, and we could only go back, as often as we could, but it wasn't often enough. So I made her this quilt, and it's a very special quilt because it was lightweight. It was something where I printed photographs onto special fabric and embroidered them all over the quilt. So it had all the family, the grandchildren, the nieces and nephews, pets. And when I used to ring her, she used to say, I've got the quilt over me. She said, I'm surrounded in the family's love.
Oh, wow.
And she said, I can just look down and you're all here with me. I don't feel alone. And it was just such a lovely product. And I just did it for her. It was just something that was really heartfelt. It really came from the heart. And so unfortunately, 18th of October last year, she passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it was very, very hard. So we went back to Norfolk and we went to the funeral directors, and they said that she could be cremated in clothes or a gown. The choice was very limited. And for me, that just wasn't enough. And I looked at Mum and I said, well, what are we going to do? And she said, what about the quilt?
Lovely.
And that's a fantastic idea. So we took the quilt in, and the funeral directors looked at it and said, you need to do this for everyone.
Yeah.
And that was a moment which I shall never forget, because although at the time it was so emotional, when it came for her passing, in the cremation, she was wrapped in our love.
Yeah,
right
absolutely.
Up until the end. It was such a lovely thing to do.
Yeah.
And so it took to the January, and I was thinking about it, what can I do? So I left the day job, and I actually concentrated on bringing the quilts to everybody.
Wow.
So we have design protection for a cover and a coffin.
Yeah.
But we also do the happy quilts for everybody. So, it helps everybody from every age, and we bespoke them. So if you wanted a quilt with fabric relating to something that your relative or friend or loved one was into, so hobbies or anything, we can make the fabric actually bespoke with all of their likes and interests, and we can put the photographs on and bespoke it especially for them.
Yeah. And I think that's such a wonderful thing, because in an age where a lot of us do move away from families and we don't get to see them so often, although social media and telephone is all very close, actually sometimes you just want to feel them that little bit closer, something like that they can snuggle up with on the sofa, or
Yes.
is such a great idea. And can people get them from anywhere now, or do they go online?
Well, it's online, heartfelt-products.com. And you can order them. We can bespoke, say, so there's a form on there that you can fill in. We will send you a quote back. So, and we have just got 5-star trading standards approved.
Oh, wow.
We're a trusted trader. That's taken since February. So we're really, really pleased, because that was so hard to achieve. So it's lovely to give people confidence in a new business. We are making these in North Devon, and we're looking to employ people in North Devon. It's such a really good feel-good factor, because, you know, being able to create jobs in the area, to be able to bring products that really fundamentally help people emotionally. It's a fantastic thing to be able to do, and to help people who are poorly, or people in wheelchairs, so that they can have something beautiful over them. It's just wonderful. And we also we're making products for people with dementia.
Right, okay.
So, and we've got quite a research going on at the moment. So that's going to be forthcoming in the next few weeks. So we're invited to events with Brace, the Alzheimer's charity in organisation in Bristol. And also with care homes in North Devon, to find out fundamentally what people need. So we're not just bringing products that only work, say, 50%. You know, it has to actually be fully functional. If people buy from us, they have to know that they're investing in a quality product that really does what it says it does.
So we are going to have a little song.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back and have a little chat, because your story really is so amazing. And you've just given me something so great that we're going to be talking about that too in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
To the sky, spread wings and
Take Me Back to London by Ed Sheeran and Stormzy there. So Denise Anstey is in the studio with me this morning, talking about her wonderful company. And you do so much more, Denise, don't you? So we've spoken about the quilts.
Yes.
I love that idea. I mean, for me as well, I'm thinking, great Christmas presents for my family that live away. You know, they can have pictures of the grandchildren with them all the time, which is such a great idea. But one of the things you've just brought into the studio today, which I need to tell everybody about, it's a little green wallet that you pop into your handbag or into your bag, and it's called Ice Alert. So explain to our listeners what this is.
So basically, the Ice Alert pocket wallet came about when I had the car accident, because I had lots of drug allergies through that. And when I eventually managed to leave the house on my own, I needed to feel confident that if, say, I did collapse, everybody would know, the ambulance crews would know right from the start what I was allergic to and what they could and couldn't do for me. So I designed the original Ice that was slightly bigger. So this one is a work in progress, and it's a lovely pocket leather wallet. It has to be leather because it needs to be durable. And inside is a booklet that you fill in, and you put all your pertinent health information in there. So even down to the point of specific medical handling. So say you've had breast cancer and you've had your sentinel node removed. Nobody would probably know that immediately, but you wouldn't necessarily want that arm used for injections, drips, blood taking or anything. So you could put that in there. And so we have sold that to people who've gone through cancer. Also people living with dementia, to dementia groups. So it is a fantastic wallet. Last year, I came back from Spain, and within 5 minutes of feeling ill, I was unconscious.
Oh my word!
Which wasn't ideal. So we've actually tested this life cycle myself, and my partner called the emergency services. He said allergies, and he said, "Oh, hang on a minute, Ice Alert," and they found it fantastic because everything they needed to know was actually in the wallet, and they could refer to it. So they didn't need to worry that, you know, if you're on lots of drugs, you don't have to put the pressure on your partner to remember for you, because when an emergency happens, your head is all over the place.
Your mind goes blank, doesn't it?
It does.
And I think that's the frightening thing.
It's the shock. And so to have it written down in a specific place, which is easily accessible, I know some people store it on their mobile phones and things, but in a car accident, that phone may get broken.
Yeah.
You know, and technology is great, but doesn't always work. So this is very simple. Keep it simple. Carry it with you. It comes with a little key fob that you put onto your key ring, which just acts as an extra alert to the emergency services that you carry an isolate wallet. And, you know, it's all in there. It's even a pet at home section.
Brilliant.
So that if you have a pet at home, you can have that in there so people know, because if you were in hospital for a long period of time and you had a cat or something and you came home, nobody would know to feed the cat. We've tried to think of everything.
And I think as well, I mean, our emergency services must find this a great help as well.
Yes. South West Ambulance did comment that they thought it was a fantastic idea.
Great.
And we're trying to push it out now and let everybody know that we're doing this. Again, it's the wallet is a leather wallet. We do import that, but everything else in there is made in the UK. That's important for us, is that we want to try and help British industry. So we will always go to the UK for our products where possible.
That's fantastic. And like we said at the start of the interview, this all came about because of an accident that you had.
Yes.
And I've got to say, I'm actually, when I read your story, I was so overwhelmed because you were paralysed, and you wouldn't know that now.
Well, I lost 90% movement in my upper right side, and it impacted my legs. So after the car accident, all I could do was sit up in bed. I couldn't lie flat, so they couldn't get me in a MRI scanner or a CT scanner, because I was actually stuck in like a sitting position. And I remained like that for years. And all I could move initially was my eyes and my mouth. So it's very difficult. And then because you lose your leg, your mobility, it has an impact then with other things. So, but I suppose I'm very determined.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've got Raymond Goldsmith here in the studio as well. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
So you are good friends with Denise, and
Indeed, yes.
You know, you've told us all about her story. So, wow.
Well, I'd just like to know, Denise, what was it that you used to get yourself out of that bed for 6 years, I understand. Is that right?
Well, yeah, for the greater part of 6 years. I would have better days. It was very strange. I could go to bed and I might not be able to move very much. I could wake up the next day and I would actually be a lot better and could potter to the toilet and back and then go to sleep, and the next day wake up and not move again. It was very difficult. So I was very stubborn. I would not use a walking stick.
Okay.
Because for me it screamed disability and I wasn't there. I didn't have one.
Yes, yeah.
And so I used to use long-handed umbrellas.
Ah, okay.
And eventually when I got to physiotherapy, they used to wrestle them off me and say, they're going to snap and you're going to fall down the stairs and be in a worse state. And so they wouldn't let me have them. And then I would get Mother then to go out and buy me another one.
Yeah.
So Mother came into the bedroom one day and she put down a pen and paper and she said, right, I'm fed up with this. She said, you need to design something that you would use. And that was literally the start of the process. I had to redesign my whole life. So to be able to brush my teeth, to dress myself, to be able to be mobile, you know, everything had to be changed. And it would have been so easy just to say, I'm never going to get any better and give into it. But every day is so precious, that to be positive and look forward and to have an end goal, no matter what that was, you know, I just kept on and on and on and not giving up. So small steps.
Willpower then, because I know there's a lot of people out there now, probably in similar situations. So you'd be a real inspiration to them, wouldn't you? Because yes, it was very hard, and as I say, it would have been easier to have given up, but for me life is so precious that I wanted to enjoy as much of whatever I could grab as possible, whatever that was. And so every day I designed the walking stick from that, something I would use. So it had lights in it, special angled LED lights, so you had progressive illumination and illumination for stairs. You had red flashing LEDs down the stem of the stick because you want to be seen crossing the road in the dark because you're slower. It had a panic alarm. It was lightweight, ergonomic, non-slip. The non-slip handle actually came about because as I was trying to regain my grip in my hand, I would use a dog ball, which had a special coating.
Yes.
And I'd just gradually try and squeeze it and just move my fingers. And then I'd gradually refine that grip over the years to large pegs, small pegs, tweezers. And it wouldn't happen every day, but it would be, right, if I can't do it today, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't push it. Just
but still keep trying to do it.
Step by step, little by little.
Yes, you get there.
And you did it.
Yes.
Wow.
I saw down trees now.
Denise, you seriously? Yeah.
I'm a lumberjack.
Yes, I do.
You are an absolute inspiration. Thank you so much for coming into the studio today.
And thank you for having me.
No, you're very well. We will put the link onto our Facebook page, and we can go from there. But you do have...
Yeah, we do have a promotion this week because it's the anniversary of my aunt's passing on Friday. So what we've said is if people email into us, it's inquiries@heartfelt-products.com. We're actually making a very festive knee quilt.
Okay.
And on Friday, we will actually randomly take a name from the emails that we have, and we'll actually send you that as an anniversary gift.
So we'll make sure we put that on the Facebook page as well, and get that shared, more importantly, because it is such a it's great. And if anybody's listening and they just even can feel a little bit of your inspiration through the airwaves today, I think it's a job well done.
Oh, thank you. No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for everything you do, and I look forward to having you back in the studio.
Yes, certainly. Love it. Thank you.
Take care, my love.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Your truly local station.
This is The Voice.